Hi YouTube, it's Veggies for Fitness. It is Tuesday, the 20th of September, 2011. I'm going to make some garlic roasted potatoes in the oven. Real simple. I just picked some rosemary out of my garden, so I'm probably going to put a little rosemary in it. I love the flavor of rosemary. Some people don't. You could just make it easily with salt, pepper. Some people just use salt. I have some red and white potatoes I'm just going to cut up, so I'll show you how I'm going to do that. And basically, they were just washed actually. So very simple, you're just going to roast them in a pan. I use whole cloves of garlic just to give it some flavor. You can use garlic infused oil. I'm just using regular extra virgin olive oil. And I may just put a little bit of garlic over it. You just don't want it to burn because it's going to cook for about 45 minutes. So I'm just coming back in. I just cut up the first potato just to give you an idea of what the size is going to look like. So this is an idea of what the size is. You just want it kind of hunky, you know, decent size, you know, bigger than a tablespoon, but not too big, you know, at least a mouthful size. And you want to get some skin on there and give it enough, you know, places to get crispy, soft inside, crispy on the outside. So I'm going to continue to cut all of these potatoes up and then show you them in the pan. So as I'm cutting this up, I just thought I'd come in and just give you an idea of how they're cut, because some people might have a bit of curiosity as to how each one's cut. So basically, you just want to get a couple of pieces and you want it as hunky, you know, as you like it. So this is normally about the size of the pieces. So I just want to put it in. And basically, just keep it, you know, decent size. And that's how I cut up the potatoes. Just put them in. Have two more here. I think this is going to be a lot of potatoes for two, but I can use them for hash browns and such in the morning. So the potatoes are all cut up, and here's the pan. And what I'm going to do is just put a bunch of whole cloves of garlic throughout. Basically, you could just eat this by hand when it's done. They come out very sweet, just as if you've ever roasted a whole head of garlic. I basically just smash it with my meat cleaver. They go flying, sometimes on the floor. That was 3 of them on the floor, so. And you just want to sort of lay them in there. I am going to put a few that are exposed without the skin on top of the potatoes, but I'm probably going to do it towards the end. They'll cook for about 45 minutes. So, because I don't have any garlic infused oil. You can use garlic salt or whatever. I'm not a big fan of garlic salt. I do use it on occasion. But this is just a nice little thing to have as a side. Then, if you want to add rosemary, you can add rosemary. You don't have to add rosemary. I like rosemary, so I'm going to add rosemary to this. And like I said, I took this from my garden and I just realized I didn't wash it. So let me wash it, dry it, and then I'll chop it up and add this. Okay, so here we go with the rosemary. I'm a big fan of fresh herbs. I try not to use dried herbs ever, but on occasion you have to. So the rosemary smells so good. So here's the fresh rosemary. I'm not going to use a lot, as you can tell. For all these potatoes, this is not a lot. I sometimes prefer more rosemary, and sometimes I just prefer, you know, potatoes and salt with a little pepper. Some people don't even like pepper, so I'm probably going to just put a drop of pepper and some rosemary, and this is, like I said, not a lot of rosemary. So you want to remove the rosemary leaves from the main stalk. Some people can chop it up. I'm not a fan of anything wood or stem-like in my food. So, and I think it detracts from the beautiful aroma of the leaves. So that's about all I'm going to use. I could probably go to the garden and get some more, but I think that's fine just to give it a light flavor. And just as it bakes, the smell will be great. It'll infuse with the garlic I'm going to add. With the olive oil I'm going to add. So you just want to chop this up, very simply. You can chop it as big or as small as you want. I prefer it smaller. This way it'll get over more potatoes. But like I said, it's just going to be a very light rosemary flavor based on the small amount of rosemary we're using. So that's it. I'm going to get a wooden spoon and just slowly toss this. So, I'll probably chop up some garlic from my other head of garlic and chop it, mince it, and then sprinkle it over probably the last, I don't know, maybe 15 minutes or so of this cooking, just to give it a little bit of a garlic flavor, and that garlic flavor oil will infuse with the olive oil. So, olive oil, very simply, just pour some on, right in there. Doesn't have to be pretty, don't overdo it. You can get your hands in there, or you can use a spoon. I prefer to get my hands in there, but you know what? I'm gonna get my hands in there. So you just want to toss it. If you think you put in too much, which I think I may have, I think that might be a little too much. Kind of a waste, but I am going to dry it up with some paper towel because you don't want too much oil. And I just realized this is definitely too much oil. See, even experienced cooks sometimes are a little heavy with the hand. So I think that should be fine. Just soak it up a little bit. Then, simply, coarse salt. I use coarse salt all the time. I almost never use salt from a shaker unless I'm in a restaurant. And even then, they have coarse salt. That's my preference. Rosemary, very simply, over the top. Pepper, if you want. I think I may just wait to put the pepper in with the garlic later. Put it in the oven, about 350 degrees for about 45 minutes. Check it. You definitely want it to be roasted. You want it to be soft. And, well, you want the outside to be crispy, the inside to be soft. And once the inside's soft, you just go and you take a knife, spear one of them and see if it's soft. And you'll know it's ready. So this is what it looks like before it goes in the oven. And I'll show you what it looks like when it comes out. So these potatoes have about 15 to 18 more minutes to go. And so I chopped up some garlic right there on the same cutting board with the rosemary. And I'm just going to sort of sprinkle it through and then give them a little turn. Usually you don't want to turn these because you want, you know, the roasted side, one side roasted on the top, bottom, and the rest soft. So I'm just going to sort of put it through, give it like a little rub in there just to get it in and around. I'm sure some of this is going to turn over. And then right back in the oven. So with these garlic roasted potatoes, I'm going to make some simply grilled shrimp. Real easy. I have about a pound of shrimp here. I think I counted them. They're about 16, defrosted, peeled into vein. Again, light on the olive oil. You want to put a little olive oil, some fresh salt. I shouldn't say fresh salt, I should say coarse salt. Pepper, and then just give them a stir. Basically just want to coat them, let them sit, and then I am going to put them on skewers and put them on the barbecue. So I have my skewers here, probably let them sit a little bit because the potatoes have about 15 minutes left. Then I'll put them on the barbecue and show you what they look like when they come off. I've made this on video before. It's just very simply, probably one of the best ways to make shrimp. Quick, easy, takes all of 5 minutes, about 3 minutes on each side on the grill. Very quick and easy. So I decided to steam some broccoli and cauliflower to go with this shrimp and garlic roasted potatoes. And the main reason is that I'm, they both need to be cooked pretty soon. Probably had them in the fridge a little bit. So I'm just going to cut up some broccoli, cauliflower. I've got the steamer going. These take a little longer to steam, so I might delay the potatoes by keeping them in a warm oven. And the shrimp is really quick. That'll cook up in just a few minutes. So I'm just going to cut this up, put it in the steamer. I don't like a lot of stock, so I just try and get the crayons as best I could. And as you can tell, I just washed them. big fan of washing my vegetables. So I'm going to do the broccoli. Well, the cauliflower. Let me put the broccoli in. I'm going to do the cauliflower and steam it, and then I'll show you the whole meal. I'm only going to use a half a head of this cauliflower, mainly because it's going to be too much. I'm not quite sure what I'm going to do with the other half. Maybe roast it on the grill in a day or so. And I was going to actually roast these vegetables on the grill, but I figured I'd steam them for a change. I do a lot of roasted vegetables on the grill. So cauliflower I like cut up a little smaller. I don't like big old hunks. Some people do. And again, less stalk, more head. You do need a little stalk just to keep it in place, or else you'll just have little pieces like that. So this will get all cut up about the same size, and then it'll go right into the steamer, and I'll show you the meal. So this has been a full 45 minutes exactly, and you can see how beautiful the potatoes are. Just very light. I just tasted one. They're just perfect. Just a very light garlic flavor and a very light rosemary flavor, with salt being just hinted in the background. I didn't put any pepper on it. I just was in the mood for some potatoes and salt, just like French fries. And the garlic, very soft. I'm going to let it cool off. It just came out of the oven, but these garlic cloves are always very soft, and they do get very sweet. And they do actually flavor the oil. And as you can tell, we soaked up a lot of the oil, and there's not a lot of oil left. And just perfect. So I am going to continue to steam my broccoli and cauliflower, which just got the camera all steamy. So broccoli and cauliflower in there, and I have the barbecue grill heating up for the shrimp. So I put the potatoes back in the oven that's off, just so they stay warm, and while the shrimp cooks, if they're cooling off too rapidly, I'll just put the oven on low, just so the potatoes stay warm. My broccoli and cauliflower are almost done, and so I am going to just put the shrimp on the skewers. Just going to give them another toss, and you want to put them all on in the same way. So I usually start tail first and slide one back. Try and put them all in the same direction. They love to spin, especially on the metal skewers versus the bamboo skewers. If you use the bamboo ones, make sure you soak them in water so they don't burn on the grill for at least a half an hour. And I think I'm going to put 5 on per, so I only have 3 skewers to work with. These shrimp are ready to go on the grill, and I use the olive oil pan just to spray the grill. Just a little hint, my shrimp has another just under 2 minutes. So in case you are afraid your broccoli and cauliflower or any of your steamed vegetables are going to cool off, I always keep the water hot. So I could just take this, put it back in, and just let it sit there for a minute or so. You know, fire's off, but you could turn the fire on. It's still steaming. I keep the cover on here to keep this warm, but when I check them, these are still hot enough. But in about 2 minutes it might not be. So I might just put it back on the fire for a minute or so, heat it back up, and we'll be good to go, because this got done pretty quickly. Same thing with the oven. The oven's off, but I have my potatoes in there just staying warm, and they're super hot. I just tried another one, and it's like they just came out. So again, just a couple of hints, and at 58 seconds, I think we're pretty close to serving this up. Shrimp is ready to come off the grill. So here's the finished meal. As you know, shrimp, broccoli, and cauliflower cool off really quickly, so you want to serve this right away. The potatoes will stay hot the longest. So there's the shrimp. There's the broccoli, there's the potatoes, probably more carbs than I should have. Here's one of those sweet pieces of garlic, which I can't wait to dive into. Made some homemade iced tea, which is unsweetened, and that will be the meal. We took a couple of bites of everything, and I realized I think the broccoli and the cauliflower could use a squeeze of lemon. So here we go, squeeze of lemon. Perfect. You can put a squeeze of lemon on the shrimp as well, but I just think that'll just make it perfect. So that's the meal. Healthy, quick, cooked in under an hour.